Now, if you want a nice, cozy Italian meal, easy enough for weekday, this is the meal for you. And I believe this is going to be your new favorite. Comment down below after you try it. First, the chicken breast. I'm doing a half of the recipe. I will link the full recipe because there's only 2 of us. So I'm only going to do half. So I have 2 chicken breasts in here. Then I have some oil I'm going to put in for the marinade. Then I'm going to put in some vinegar. I'm using balsamic vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar, would work also. I am going to put in some oregano, a teaspoon of oregano, since we're having the recipe. Okay, and half a teaspoon of salt. So a half a tablespoon of honey. So let's see here. And this is going to make a marinade where we are going to let this marinade while we do the rest of the prep work, chopping the vegetables and the onion and some of the other stuff. Getting some of the other stuff together, we're going to mix this thoroughly here. Now we're going to walk this chicken with the marinade over to the fridge, and we're going to let that marinate a while we do the rest of the recipe. So you can use any veggies. I'm using carrots and onions. A lot of time I use zucchini. I'm going to need some more oregano and probably olive oil, along with my orzo to finish up this dish. Next, we are heating up this big pot I have, my spaghetti pot. We're going to add some olive oil on the bottom to cook the chicken. So we have it on number 4 out of 8, medium-high heat. The chicken is now added, and we're going to let that cook up. While that is cooking, we're going to add our onion all in there to meld the flavors with the chicken. This will take about 5 to 10 minutes. You want to make sure the chicken is cooked thoroughly. Okay, now we're adding the carrots or whatever vegetable you chose. We need to cook them for 3 to 5 minutes. We want to constantly be scraping the bottom for any residue from the chicken and mixing that all together and keeping that nice and cohesive. It's been cooking for 3 to 5 minutes, and now we're going to add some orzo. This is grocery brand. I don't think it matters what kind of orzo you get, but if you have a favorite brand, go ahead and use that. And we're going to pour about, like I said, I'm doing half a recipe, so you can do a full recipe. I'll link the recipe down in the description. Now I've only put in half of the broth that I'm going to use. You can use chicken broth or water. I'm using water today because I'm out of chicken broth, but you use half of the liquid. Let the orzo cook and soak up that liquid before you put the other half in. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes for it to cook the orzo. Just thoughts on this recipe. It is an easy, great weekday meal. I'm making it on a weekend. If you hear the football in the background, it's because my husband's hard of hearing and he listens to it very loudly. But anyway, I will leave you with that, and I will come back when we are doing more with the recipe. I am almost ready to add the rest of the liquid that I need to add. The orzo has pretty much soaked up this much liquid. I'm going to add that last bit and let it soak up all the goodness. So it is all cooked. Now you add some kind of cheese over the top. If you like mozzarella cheese, Parmesan, you prefer feta cheese, any of the Mediterranean style cheeses you can add on top. And as much or as little as you want, we're going to stir it in and finish it off. And this is our finished product, chicken orzo, or Mediterranean chicken orzo. Till next time, ciao amici.